And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this Thursday night edition of Biz Talks. My name is Fred Holmes. I'm an independent distributor with Zija International, and I'm pleased to be able to be the host for this evening's presentation. What we're going to do this evening is we're going to be sharing a brief overview. This isn't designed to be a three-day lecture on what we're doing, but it's designed to be an overview of our company, certainly our products, and most importantly, the timing. And I have a very special guest this evening that I'm going to be bringing over to this side in a couple of moments so you can hear this gentleman's story. He's our top income earner, has decades of experience in the home-based business arena, and certainly nobody better prepared and better positioned to talk about what is going to be happening with our company. And so certainly a very warm welcome to all of you, but in particular those of you that have been invited as a guest. Perhaps a family member, maybe a coworker or a friend has been telling you a little bit about Zija International. Perhaps they've struck some interest on your part on the concept of creating an additional income stream, something over and above what you currently, get from your current business or your current profession, occupation. Maybe you've been looking for a vehicle that can create true long-term financial, security, financial prosperity for you and your family, an opportunity, as I like to say, to buy back your time, to be able to create the lifestyle that you want and be able to live the lifestyle you want. For many of us, that's exactly what this profession of home-based business arena, perhaps you've heard of it called the network marketing arena, person-to-person marketing. For many of us, it's been able to allow us to live a life that we design and be able to have the financial resources to be able to support that. And so one of the things that's happened to me personally over the years, many years ago, I left my profession as a cross-country truck driver, specifically for some of those reasons. I was looking for a way to create the income necessary to support my son as he was entering school age. That a special needs child. I needed, significant levels of income, and I also needed time freedom to be with him. And this profession of network marketing was the only vehicle that a fellow with my background, my education, my skill sets was able to find both of those things, an extraordinary income and time freedom. And I was very fortunate. I retired literally within 10 years, 20 years earlier than most fellows ever consider retirement. Fast forward a number of years, I was introduced to this company, Zija International. It was a very small company that had been in business just a couple of years, but I was fortunate to be able to look at the important issues, and let me share with you what I saw. I saw world-class leadership. It was the most important reason why I even bothered to look at this company was the owner of Zija International. His name is Ken Brailsford, and Ken is an icon in both the nutritional industries as well as home-based business. You may not recognize Ken's name, but you already know who he is. Ken is known as the father of encapsulation. He was one of the first people to take medicinal herbs and put them into those little gel caps we're all familiar with today to make it easier for the average person to be able to consume the benefits of the medicinal herbs. Ken's created, in his tenure in the industry, two of the multi-decade, multi-billion-dollar legacy companies. There's only been a couple of dozen companies in the history of this business model that have been able to achieve that. Ken's created two previous companies. One's been in business now over 40 years. The other one's been in business over 30 years. They continue today to be, building and growing strong. When Ken came out of retirement, he came out of retirement to create Zija International. It was because of our flagship product. We were the first people to bring to market in a commercial format for the average consumer the power of the Moringa oleifera tree. Now, some of you are going to recognize that name, the Moringa oleifera tree. It was all over social media and mainstream television media last year as being the superfood of 2018. Yet when we launched this company, not we, when the owner launched this company back at the end of 2005, we were the first people bringing Moringa oleifera products to the marketplace. we were literally, a decade plus in advance of the awareness of the public of the power of this botanical. Now, over the last 12 years or so, the company has been in major development mode, build mode. We have dramatically expanded our infrastructure. Today, we own, our Class A office spaces, literally tens of thousands of square feet of manufacturing, distribution, warehousing. We have the ability today with our own, we own and control our own manufacturing facility. It's an NSF certified pharmaceutical grade manufacturing facility. That's stunning because in the market space today, in nutritional supplementation, we're really the only mainstream company that produces our products to the purity and the quality of pharmaceutical grade manufacturing. We have expanded our product offerings. Well, we originally were involved in simply the Moringa oleifera tree. We've expanded to healthy weight management. We brought to market the very first clinical grade essential oil line in the market space. Nobody has clinical grade essential oils available to the average consumer. We've expanded into sports nutrition, high quality, natural products that meet the needs of a population that wants to stay healthy, look good. And when you start realizing all the garbage people are putting into their bodies, all for the sake of feeling good and looking good in the gym, it's artificial colorants, artificial sweeteners, soy-based proteins. Zija International has targeted areas within nutrition that really are not being met, but yet the people want it. Okay, this is really the key. Find products that people are looking for, and they're just not even aware that they exist. We've expanded into a complete line of health and personal care products and skincare products. Again, all with the science and the purity and the quality that's been the hallmark of Zija International. And finally, the last thing that you would want to really be able to research and look into is the timing. And that's really the reason we're here this evening, is to introduce you to something that's literally going to change the landscape of the home-based business arena. We are just weeks away from launching a state-of-the-art CBD oil product. We are the only mainstream company in existence that will be bringing to market a transdermal patch 24-hour delivery process. It is stunning. This is the new gold rush, the gold rush of the 21st century. Zija International, once again, is leading the field with unique, science-based, high-quality products. And so if you were looking for a scenario where you could get involved and be part of something before the masses that could create intergenerational income, then this is the company to be looking at. And what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to bring over to this side of the conversation. David, kind of a heads up, I'm going to bring you over here right now. David Moses. David and I had known of each other in the industry for years, but we'd never worked together. I'm just so pleased to say that David has not only been a great mentor and business partner, he's become a very good friend over these last several years that we've been working together. David Moses, he's kind of modest. He's not going to be telling you, but he is. Dave, how are you? Oh, let me make sure I got your mic. Dave, you want to double check, make sure your mic is turned on? Let's see, okay, maybe, there we go, I got you. David, one more time, hang on a sec, now try.
All right, I think we're good.
Yeah, I got you, David, excellent. I was just introducing you, buddy. David's kind of modest, he's not gonna be, blowing his own horn. I will tell you, David has decades of experience in this profession. He's well known through the network marketing community as one of our, the industry's top trainers, leaders, performers. He's become the top ranked distributor in our company. He's our top income earner. David joined the company a few months before I did, and I'll have to tell you, it was kind of an interesting story. We'll probably do it for another time, but I didn't want to talk to David when I was first introduced to Zija. I had a friend call me, and the first thing he did is he wanted me to start speaking to David, his sponsor, because I knew what he was doing. He was doing the deal, right? I said, I'm not going to bother that guy unless I have any interest. And so I did a little research before I talked with David. But anyway, David, I really have been telling people that tonight was an opportunity to hear from a fellow that went from a blue-collar background. I mean, we weren't involved in the same trades, but we were involved in the trades. To hear your story and what has happened to you to bring you to Zija International at this point in your life. And then what I really want to do is give the folks a picture of what's going to be happening in the future with Zija. So thanks for joining us, David. Good to see you, my friend. You looking fit?
Always great to see you, Fred. And it's, boy, 12 years goes by pretty quick since we met, huh? Yeah, it's next chapter, new era. Looking forward to our regionals in both Cincinnati and Dallas. It looks like we will cross well over 1,000 people in Cincinnati.
Wow.
We'll make it the single largest, to my knowledge or to my memory, corporate regional that we've ever had, which is pretty amazing. And we'll probably hit 800 plus in Dallas. So
wow.
If that's a preview of 2019, there's going to be a lot of new success stories, no doubt.
No doubt. So, David, maybe we can start a little bit. Where were you before you were introduced to network marketing? What brought you to this profession?
I don't think anything happens by accident. I finished a high school grad. Didn't really go on to any higher learning in the education system. I think one semester of college. Ended up in the family business as a locksmith glazer. Was there for a number of years. And then my brother and I started our own business in collectible car restoration, the old classics from the late 60s, early 70s. We parted our ways in December of '89. And fate would have it that I would read an ad in a newspaper that I found on the floor of an unemployment office, if you can believe that. That would lead me to a Saturday morning presentation, which was my first exposure to the concept of leverage, or what we call network marketing. The idea that instead of working a 40-hour work week, all of us can start to earn on 40 hours, 100 hours, 1,000 hours a day of productivity. And of course, it doesn't take, you don't have to be a math whiz to know that getting paid on thousands of hours a week, maybe thousands of hours a day, when you have a big group, is far superior than a 40-hour work week and getting paid 100% of your own efforts. And so the idea being that when we help people market a product, any product, could be any company, right? Market a product, teach them to do the same, build a team, then we now have a royalty residual income on that. And then when you have world-class products like we do at Zija International, then you can sustain your consumer base long-term. Do the work once, get paid over and over again for the rest of your life. And so I started that journey at age 27, and here we are at 56. My daughter, who was born April of 1990, my first calendar year, my first 4 months in the industry, is now a mom. So yeah, as you mentioned, the income can even be generational, and it's already started that way.
Well, and one of the things, David, that back in the early days of Zija, we were really trying to get the business going. We were talking to people. Everybody said, "What is Zija?" Tell us about your products. We had one product. That was it. I mean, it wasn't easy, but I remember, once it got so late in the evening, we couldn't talk to other people. That's when me and you got a chance to visit. It would be like 10 or 11 o'clock my time here in California. It was 1 or 2 in the morning your time. And we used to visit about what our company could become. Okay, we were looking into the future with the world class corporate leadership in Ken Brailsford, the business savvy, the integrity, the pristine products that we were developing. We talked about what we could have in the future, and we've seen so much of that start to come about over the years, with the infrastructure of the company now. You more so than anybody because of your direct involvement with the corporate team. Every time I turn around, you're already back in Utah with the corporate office. Maybe you can share with folks a little bit about, where you see us today, relative to where we were when we first got involved. And what do you see happening over the next few years? Because, I mean, we've got some amazing things over the next, 36 to 60 months that's going to be happening.
Well, yeah, as you know, Fred, everything evolves, everything changes. We've had a couple of CEOs since I've been here, and we just have our new CEO, Jeremy Redd, who just joined us, and he's got some pretty big plans for this company. He came out of two billion-dollar companies in our industry, a lot of experience there, and I believe much of the vision will be unveiled literally in a couple of weeks as they're putting together some of the components for that. But you mentioned it in the beginning of the broadcast about CBD. There's so much talk about it, and I guess the reason is that everybody knows what that is. The benefits have had decades. I mean, I guess almost 100 years of research and experience, and only now, it's entered the mainstream market in a legal fashion. And so it was sort of like a pre-made market that was already built. Now it's just going online mainstream, and this is why that entire market segment, that entire space, is the trajectory is a couple of $1 billion to $20 billion in a year, something like that. Like the numbers are staggering, right? It's like sort of an instant industry, just like someone flipping on a light switch. And so when you have that kind of growth, that kind of volume, that kind of engagement by a population, you don't need a lot, a sliver of 1%, and you're going to be highly successful as a company. And then a sliver of that sliver for any individuals engaging, and you can get outright wealthy. And so timing, shows up in a lot of different ways. And one of the ways is the fact that that's going to be one of our product categories. And we're on the leading edge of it with a 12-year proven company, totally vertically integrated, everything from the farm to the end consumer, our company controls. And I think most importantly, for the new person who may be viewing this broadcast, you'll be associating with high quality leadership, lots of experience, who can teach you everything that you need to know to develop a part-time or full-time income, and do it from the comfort of your own home. As you can see, I'm right here in my library. Got my aquarium over here to the left of me, and
it's a cool aquarium.
I mean, who wouldn't want to develop financial independence from the comfort of their own home? It's a beautiful thing, and we're just getting started.
it really does feel like it's, 2008, 2009 all over again. The only difference is instead of a little bicycle with training wheels, we got that Formula One race car that we're ready to put out on the track.
Yeah, well, there's no question. I just had this conversation that, it's a funny thing. I was thinking about the relationship, with our last CEO, and just 5 years ago, the company was shipping, when we shipped our products, it showed up in a brown box, with some filler and peanuts in it. And now we've got all this beautiful branding, beautiful packaging, full of information and branding. So many pieces were methodically put in place from the time that we joined. I mean, there was no manufacturing when we started, right? The manufacturing plant came in almost 4 years after we started our business. Right? So it's an amazing evolution to observe, and the same thing has happened even from a business standpoint. I mean, the number of successful people is about to double in a single year, which is also an incredible statistic when you think about it.
David, in the closing moments that we have, because tonight we're really speaking to the folks that were invited to take a look at Zija, and certainly a lot of them have been pre-exposed. They've already had some information. This might be a second, third, or fourth exposure to them. What would you say to somebody that was looking at our broadcast tonight, or maybe the recording, and they're making a decision to get involved? What's the first step, second step, if you will, to launch their Zija business?
Well, I think, if people have a clearly defined why, it's sort of the motivation underneath engaging in the business. And I can give you some bullet points on what are some of the common ones. Financial security for our children, for our grandchildren. Being debt free, obvious one. Everybody would want that. Having a royalty residual income, having a 5-star lifestyle, best education, best health insurance. Driving a nice car. That's somewhere, doesn't have to be at the top of the list. Can be down near the bottom, right? Having your first home, or having your dream home, being able to contribute to others. There are so many things. I mean, the children, the grandchildren one are probably the biggest and common wherever you go, anywhere in the world. If you've got that clear, if that underlying motivation is there, the how-to is a very small part of success, because that's kind of available around any corner, virtually any corner. But you have to have the motivation to access it. And if you access it, when the student's ready, the teachers will appear. And when people are shown the path, they're given guidance, they're given mentorship, they're given support. The process is pretty well mechanical on how to become successful.
Well, David, it goes without saying that it was a distinct privilege to have you with us this evening. Things have really changed. To me, you're still Dave Moses, but to the world, you're a Zija master distributor doing the deal, and you deserve every single bit of the success you've had because of all of the support and mentorship that you bring to the field, and certainly to me, myself, as an individual, David, I appreciate you. Thanks for taking a little time away from the family. I know that these days you really are relishing the time that you have at home. I know that you've got a little break here from your world travels, and look forward to seeing you. I think next time I'll see you is Plano, Texas for the first regional in March.
Absolutely. We will see you there, Fred.
All right. Thanks so much for joining us, buddy. I'll let you go back to the other side. And there we go. And so, ladies and gentlemen, very rare opportunity to have, this quiet personal time with the company's top income earner. We truly are at the very leading edge of what will become one of the most significant growth curves of any company in the 70 years that network marketing has been a profession, and you have an opportunity to be involved ahead of the masses. Well, where Zija, I mean, we're not even close to a household term. If you take 100 people off the street and ask them what is Zija, I guarantee you 100 will say, what is what? Because we're really just a very small dot on the radar as we speak today. So in closing, I want to do a couple of things. First of all, for those of you that were invited as a guest, you may have been invited to look at, the potential of being involved with this income opportunity, or maybe just a little exposure to the products in the company. I'm going to encourage you, get with the person that asked you to be part of tonight's broadcast, or maybe they directed you to the YouTube channel with the recording. Get a hold of them, okay? They have resources. They are the people that work with them, the leadership they work with, have resources to give you the information you need to make a decision. For some of you, that decision will be to try our products. And I have to tell you, you got to do that, all right? Our products are life-changing. We didn't get a chance to talk about this. Between David Moses and myself, we've lost probably approaching, I'm going to guess easily 70, 80 pounds. I'm personally 35 plus pounds lighter than I was the day I started Zija. I'm in the best health of my life. And honestly, you do not know how good you can feel till you start feeling how good you can feel. So try our products. You'll understand why our company's customer retention rate is so high. There is literally no other company in this market space that can match the loyalty and consistency of our consumers, and it's because of the quality of the product. Now, you might be ready to take a look at the business and get involved with us. The person that invited you to be part of this broadcast will get the information you need, they'll put you in touch with the people, might be me, might be David, that they'll put you in touch with the people that can help get you involved with us and get you moving forward in the development of your business. And if you're ready to start, I want to personally invite you to our Saturday morning new distributor training. Day after tomorrow, we're going to be hosting a very special beginning of the period Saturday morning training. We're going to go through the specifics of what you want to do, not just as a brand new distributor, but to capitalize on the next 90 days in Zija, because the next 90 days can set you up for the rest of your life if you do it right. So with that, one last shout out to David Moses. Thanks, Dave, for joining us. Always a pleasure to have you, to be involved with you in any kind of format. And with that, we're going to go ahead and sign off for tonight. I look forward to seeing all of you on Saturday morning, and have a great rest of your evening. Take care now.